me knee. Welcome to the very first and possibly the last evening here at the Rubber Chicken Comedy Club. I'm the compere. It's a French word. We can use it. We want it Agincourt. I'm going to walk off stage. I'm going to shout, "Begin," and you go absolutely doolally as if you're enjoying yourselves. Good to have you back. So there we go. Such alopecia, but it suits him. Right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, grands and granddads, anybody who was adopted and something horrible happened at Bernardo's, please welcome on stage, compere for tonight, 1957 Entertainer of the Year in the North East Division, Mr. Ronnie Rigsby! That's brilliant. Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming. Very kind of you to come. And may I welcome you all to this brand new gig / fire trap. Don't think about that. Don't think about sunburning to death. You know, keep the fluids handy though, look. You never know. It might, his hat's on fire. So and a splendid hat it is as well. That's, I'm sure there's a very good reason for you wearing that indoors. So stop the government from reading my secret emails. So it's topical. I'm having a stroke. I wasn't just checking. Thanks for doing it. Fuck off. Nice to know in the event of me swallowing my tongue, nothing will happen in this room. I'm too cross too early. I'm alienated. Bring it back. I love you. There we go. And also, can I just say as well, as soon as I bloody started, I sensed you were mentally undressing me with your eyes, young lady. Don't you worry, I'm doing it right back to you. And what I see, I like. I'm joking. Oh, well, no, you're ugly. So I'm saying is, I'm still on the antibiotics, so look away. Anyway, they still want me. It's a curse more than a gift, sir. Are you together as a couple? Yes. Well done. Anyway, well done you. You could do a lot bloody better though, young lady. So how long? I don't mean to pick on you, but I've done. What's your name? What's your favourite colour?
Blue and Paul.
Brilliant. Okay. So has the ring of truth. Now, no particular reason. It will get better. So, that's my catchphrase, by the way. Everyone needs a catchphrase in this business. My very first catchphrase was, not the face! But, it's Glasgow Empire, it's a tough crowd. So, can you hear me alright? Yeah. I don't really need the microphone, but it does indicate a certain degree of professionalism, which, quite frankly, I didn't experience the last time I was in Leeds, where the sound system was 2 tin cans and a piece of string. But there we go. So, good to be back. Now, I've got to do a bit, there's no acts, there's just me. For 15 hours. I'm so sorry. More of a hostage situation. I lock the door. By hook or by crook, I'm going to get in the Guinness Book of Records. So, my job as compere, or MC if you prefer, if you watch, MTV with the sound turned down like I do, and you hear the music, oh, I'm having another stroke. That's a 12-inch remix, that sentence. What I've just learned there is I always have an end of a sentence in mind when you start. If you're going to go on showbiz, it doesn't matter at the bus stop. You can go, oh, yeah, but I'm real life in that, in stage matter. So and I've worked with them all. I should know that. It's a doubly special evening for me tonight. Doubly special, isn't that right, Mr. Bunny? Not the best place for shadow puppies, is it? That's my entire routine. 4 hours shadow puppies. It's just as well, it's a bit shit for you people on the side there. But that one's a bunny, couldn't tell. That's it. And I was strung out for 4 hours, but Princess Margaret loved it, ladies. She really did. Because it's a special evening for me, not for the older kiddies as well. You probably recognise me already, don't you? Some of the older kiddies over 35 probably recognise me from Cracker Jack. Not enough to care. There's a show back in the... I was on it, I did it 3, but I stood in for Peter Glaze. It won't make any sense to you, like your Guardian reading scum. But did 3 weeks for... stood in for Peter Glaze. He said he was off his flu, it wasn't, it was tertiary syphilis. He had the shade so bad he put a kid's eye out with a crackerjack pencil. I don't know why I'm addressing it all to you. Anyway, so I've told you, it's over. Right, very unprofessional. Right, so anyway, ladies and gentlemen, he said, lifting his voice to inject energy into the room. We got a cracking evening ahead of us, and it's, as I say, it's a double special evening for me. Not only do I get to pop the comedy cherry of the Rubber Chicken Comedy Club, if that's not stretching a metaphor, and leaving a rather distasteful image in some of your minds as well at the same time. Oh, it's a good club. Engaged brain, Robert. But it's not just that, but it's also a special evening for me, ladies and gentlemen, because I looked at the old diary. I could not believe it. I'm actually celebrating this very evening 158 years in showbiz tonight! So you can imagine how pleased I am to be here in a dark cavern. So, but in a posh part of Leeds, which isn't saying much. But there we go. And don't get it the wrong way. I'm from Doncaster, so this is living. Nobody from Doncaster is. They probably do, just don't understand the question. I left it a long time. I say Doncaster, between Doncaster and Hull, it was a difficult birth. Let's move. So a little bit more inspiration. So by quick cheer, give us a cheer if you're from Leeds. Give us a cheer if you've made a horrible mistake and you're not from Leeds, but you're here tonight.
Hey!
Oh, cheering. So whereabouts are the not Leeds people from? Anywhere exotic?
Wakey.
Oh, you can't top that, can you? Hey, they've even got a Costa now. I sell you. And the card with points. So, which part of Wakefield?
Sandal.
No. Right, just the oxygen publicity. Good to have you here, Sandal boy. Anybody more exotic than... How could you be more exotic than Wakefield? How could you? Hey, no more exotic than Wakefield.
Gravesend.
I was expecting, Alicante, but I'll take Gravesend. Because sometimes I was at one gig, mind you, I made a girl cry, but I was at one gig and it turned out she was from Portugal. Just made a terrible error. She thought it was an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical, but we took her money. Show business, isn't it? Anyway, I'm really glad you all came down tonight. Sandal Boy, Gravesend, normal people. Really glad you came down tonight because we've got a smashing show ahead of you. Really, I'm so glad you came tonight. And hopefully, this is the beginning of a world domination / religious order, which will be taking over everywhere. So they're doing a little taster tonight, and if it works, and I think it will, quite frankly. In fact, the way this evening's going, I feel I could probably, right now, body surf you. I'm a bit of weight, but I'm still very... You take the brunt of it, don't let he's got weak shoulders, you take the brunt, lad. I can't just call you lad, what's your name?
Jones.
That's right. Now, don't worry, I'm just cold reading you, nothing to worry about, and I'm guessing you like beer. Where does it come from? Little trick I learnt from Mystic Meg on the Leeds Variety Circuit back in the 40s, actually. She wasn't doing the prediction stuff there. She had an act where she'd make every member of the audience wear a pair of stiletto heel shoes. This is the Leeds Variety. And then you'd get to stand on her eyeballs. And then she'd guess your weight. She got it right. Quite a lot. But obviously, blind in one eye now. Anyway, I like to bring the mood down occasionally. So let's crack. There are other acts. I was joking. There are. And the plan for the evening, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have 4 acts, interval, 2 acts, interval, 6 acts, interval. We can bring all the acts on stage. Be a bit tight for time then, so we'll have a massive fight. The last one standing tells a joke. Interval, hinting competition, big Kendall mint cake, interval, Christmas, interval, and then back to my caravanette for a game of Twister. I think some of you will remember. So that's the plan for the evening, ladies and boys and girls. I hope you enjoy it. No refunds. And you are in for a treat. Honestly, I've seen all the acts before, and they are bloody brilliant. I followed one of them home actually. Just peering through the toilet window. Happy memories. And they're absolutely great. In fact, I'll go this far, ladies and gentlemen. You could pay twice the amount of money to see some show in the centre of town, and you would not see the show that you're going to see tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I can guarantee that. Hand on heart. And I've worked with them all. Name any of my showbiz, I've worked with them. But as I say, it's a special evening for me, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, because of the celebration. And I've got a funny feeling that some of my little friends are secreted around the room, ready to cause all sorts of mayhem. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Do you think that's likely, or do you think that's just one of those rhetorical questions that goes unanswered in life? Which do you think? It's not a rhetorical question. Do you think my friends are hiding in the room? No, that's my career. Where are they? Where could they be? Where are my little friends? What do you think, little Ron? He says, it's not a real child. He says that they could be hiding in the magic book of silver that looks a bit like duct tape. So shall we see? It's going to be a bit shit for you on the side there. I do apologise. So shall we have a look and see if my little friends are hiding in the book?
Yeah.
This is just the way. A bit more enthusiasm. I mean, this is. I could. There's a chippy in Donny where I've got an account. I could be there. And they fry bread as well. Talk to me about Costa and Wakefield. Shall we see my little friends hiding in the book, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Yeah. That's more like it. We're having a laugh now, aren't we, eh? This is what it was like in the war, all powdered egg and rickets. You will let me know if you see it, won't you? It's got ever. By the way, if I get bigger, that just means I've got closer. If I get a bit blurry, I'm too close. Push me back up onto the stage. See them, my little friend? Yes! Yes! Alright, you will let me know if you see him. He's got brown fur, 2 big ears. You will let me know. Have you seen him yet? Yes! Where's he hiding? I can't see him. Of course he's in the book. One of you got it right. The rest of you, get out. Get out, you time wasters. Of course he's in the bloody book. But where's... just so you know, that's all I'm doing. Before Avatar, this was a big bloody deal. I am I the only one who gets a headache with 3D films? I think they're a bit over 3D, my bloody red baboon arse. They chuck something at the screen and soon bounces off. Not like theatre, where you can kill somebody with a stone. So, have you seen them? Yes! Where's he gone? Still in the book, nothing to do. I just have to say that's because Princess Margaret cried at that point. You see them? Yeah. Where's he gone? Just checking. What about his 58 characters in the book? What about his friend? Do you like call him, Paul?
Yeah, fine.
What do you call him?
John.
Yeah. No, wrong. Get out. Let's burn him. Let's bring on a wicker man and burn Paul. We won't. We're just a bit of fun. But a cracking gig if we did, wouldn't it? Did you have a good time? Yes, we went to this new comedy club and we burned somebody. Just in the midsummer's week. It was great. I'm wearing their shoes. We had a barbecue. No, we won't make it right. Do you think I get both my friends on the same page at the same time, ladies and gentlemen? Do you think I can do that? No. I tried once, I got very cross, I punched a policeman. Paid my debt to society. Big finish!
What about the grinning head of death?
There's no God! We're all gonna die!
It's all been a pointless waste of time.
Don't do a lot of children's parties anymore. I apparently, I don't appeal to the young mind, which is a terrible shame because I've got so much to teach them. So, you seem as warm as you're going to get for people in the black box. So, I'm tempted to start the show. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Should we do it then? Right, let's do it. Although, I've got to warn you, there's lots of other special guests who are going to come along tonight. And pace yourselves, because if this is a cracking evening, and I think it will be, we will, of course, be instigating, as a regular feature, the audience participation reenactment of an ancient creation myth of the Middle East. So we've got that to look forward to. I think we're doing Gilgamesh tonight. I hope I've not spoiled the fun for anyone, but look forward to that. Anyway, oh, I know. Sorry. Ooh. Right. So that wasn't a catchphrase. That was just trapped wind. So should we ring on the first act, ladies and gentlemen, boys? Yeah. Because you seem quite warm, and I've got to be absolutely honest with you. As far as I'm concerned, every act you see tonight is a headline act, and that's absolutely true. Because I've seen some of these buggers headline or international act. One of them's done the Isle of Wight. International acts, so they are huge. One of these people isn't on Sky 3 in a few years' time. Weather Channel, let's be realistic. But they're really good and they work all over the blue place. But of course, some poor bugger has to go on first. And we've picked on this young lady because she's weak. But only physically, mentally, she's very strong, ladies and gentlemen. So are you ready to welcome on the first act?
Yeah!
Are you going to give her that special rubber chicken style welcome?
Yeah!
Well, quite frankly, you failed to give me your bastards. Yeah. Are you going to do that? You're going to absolutely do lally for Uncle Ron? Yeah! Then let's do it. Let's go absolutely crazy. And please welcome on the stage the first act. Here she comes. Is little Elsie Ashworth, ladies.
What a friendly faces. I have had a terrible day today. I've spent the whole day shelling prawns. They retaliated with an airstrike. I bought a cuckoo clock, took it home. Next thing I knew, all the other clocks in the house had been pushed out the window. I'm reading a self-help book. It says the best way to improve your life is to take a risk. So I spent the whole week having unprotected sex with everyone from work. It can be daunting to follow in your father's footsteps, especially when his new job is clearing landmines. Still, I used to say that a lot. I always dreamt of playing a game where I had a card full of numbers, somebody else would shout numbers out, and I'd get to tick them off. And then, bingo! I had a spell in prison, so I fell asleep for 100 years. I woke to a handsome prince. I joined the circus and I used to have an act where I had to fend off an aggressive rubber floor covering with just a chair and a whip. These days, nobody wants a line entertainer. Now I work down a breaker's yard selling automotive components. It's part-time. That's what we say to motivate ourselves. I used to have a baby dinosaur that I kept at the chemist's till he got too big for his boots. Council told me I'm going to need a permit if I want to have a skip in the road. It can't be any longer than 5 metres. That's my giant hopscotch buggered. Cycled 500 miles for HIV. Then I found out you get it delivered. You get vitamin D when we go out in the sunlight, vitamin C in the limelight, in the spotlight. I get terrible acne. I can't go out in the moonlight. Trousers fall down. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? So God, for a second I thought I could hear ska music from the 1980s. It's just a moment of madness. I like to go around the neighbourhood, peeing on every street corner. My boyfriend hates it, but I tell him, it goes with the territory. He said to me, "You're as beautiful as the salt in a tequila slammer." I thought it was a bit of a backhanded compliment. I do think you should be realistic in a relationship. You should never put your partner in a pedalo. I hate it. It makes me look stupid. My boyfriend says to me he wants his vasectomy reversed. I'm not sure that one operation will really make a vast difference. Well, don't forget that. Sometimes it's just... there's not enough anatomical joke. So instead, we tried using an ancient fertility symbol. But the drum kit just gets in the way. I dreamt I was standing in front of a big orange lake. I said, "Is this some kind of weird fantasy?" It wasn't. It was an iron blue ocean. I kept on scanning the horizon. Just couldn't get the barcode to work. Eventually, a zebra wandered past. Beep! 3:20. Once, I had to parallel park a fire engine. It looks difficult, but it's just smoke and mirrors. Tried fly tipping, but I killed a blue bottle with a £2 coin. I used to work at the Met Office, and when I left, they gave me a surprise party where everyone dressed up as different types of weather. I thought, what will my costume be? Will I have rainbows in my hair? Will there be floods of tears, gales of laughter? In the end, it was a short but emotional ceremony. They just handed me my costume and said, "You'll be missed." Thank you, that's all I'm going to do this evening. You've been lovely. Cheers!
She returned to the void. Did you enjoy that? Yeah, I did too. I'm not too sure why there's a stool on here. I'm very confused by that because I don't think there's any, we haven't got any people playing ukulele or anything. But we'll leave it there because, I'm sure there's a reason for everything, isn't there? Except the Liberal Democrats. So, they who literally raped my vote out of a card. So I was just trying to help the students, So, so I'm glad we got Elsie out of the way. She's a smashing act. She's got a long journey to go. She's got a long. She came from Tasmania. They walked for you, yes, you ungrateful sods. So but I enjoyed it, and I enjoy every act. I enjoy you, hat boy. I'll be honest. I'm glad I rise smile. Oh, hello. I've been there. Sometimes I can pick up minicap messages on the fillings, and and this time that's quite busy. I think the sound's all right. I've ruined the mood. I'll do another shadow puppet. No idea. I suppose it could be a donkey that has had its muzzle broken off. It's not a real donkey. I am, you soft bastards. Oh God, you're worse than Harrogate. Anyway, that was the rest of that. Their idea of fun is raking the moon out of a puddle with a stick. Nothing against them. It's just very cloudy skies in the area. They very rarely see, any heavenly bodies. So don't blame them. We must crack on. And I enjoyed Elsie immensely, ladies and gentlemen, and she brought a wry smile to this old man's lips. Because can I be truthful with you for one moment? I've had a terrible week, ladies and gentlemen. Aww. It's true. I've had a terrible week. I got the dog's insulin mixed up with the wife's angina pills. And they're both dead. I've had a terrible week. I'm joking, the dog's still in a coma. So, silver lining and all that. So, let's crack on the next act. She won't have you in a coma, ladies and gentlemen. Slick as fuck, that link. Literally came out of nowhere. This is right, they pay me the big bucks, eh? Royal Variety Performance, fuck you. I nearly did it 57, but apparently I touched the Queen. So, I just fell on her. Well, she's very small. Let's, but the next act, she's not, don't milk it, Rob. Ladies and gentlemen, so we're ready for the next act?
Yeah!
Now, you may have seen this beautiful blonde bombshell walking around the room looking a bit peaky earlier on. And you may indeed have slept with her. In fact, someone in this room probably has. Because that's the sort of town this is. But we're very lucky to have her here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Leeds' very own, here she is, Little Miss Understood!
Sarah, fix that. Right. Hello. We're still testing the equipment, if that's all right. Anybody in from Ireland? Woo! Yes? Anybody here single? Yes. Anybody here in a relationship? Woo! Anybody here blind in one eye and have ADHD? It's a bit sad, really, isn't it? Okay, I just wanted to tell you a few things about myself. I'm from Belfast. It's a good place to be from. We like to underplay things in Northern Ireland. 30 years of violence, 300 deaths, 47,000 injuries. The troubles. And when my paedophile brother was finally arrested, my mother said, "Oh, well, at least he'll get 3 meals a day." So I don't know what you'd think we would call Hiroshima. Wee bit of a palaver. Now, we like to have good crack in Northern Ireland, and I quite like good crack, cocaine. It makes me laugh, and then cry, and then laugh, and then cry, and then weep. Oh, sorry. I think I'm actually sharing a wee bit too much here. I have ADHD, which stands for Attention Deficit. Fuck, nice hat. That's absolutely gorgeous. Did you get that in Leeds? Oh, that's beautiful. I really like a nice hat. Nice glasses. Oh, where am I? Oh, lights, sound. Shiny. Oh, sorry. I've got ADHD. So anyway, I went to boarding school. I was sent away to boarding school to get away from the troubles. Troubles? I collected them. Detentions, STDs, issues for later life. Yeah, it's fantastic. So anyway, I'm not very good at holding down a job. So my last job was here at the Rubber Chicken Room, and I was told to remember 3 things by my manager. The first thing was attention to detail. And I forgot the other 2. So I've become a serial entrepreneur. That means I actually just read my emails while I'm eating my Cocoa Pops. So I really struggle for money because obviously I lose jobs all the time because I'm just this ADHD thing, and the cocaine doesn't help either. And it's just a habit. So anyway, what I thought I'd do is right, I'll sit down and think, what am I good at? Right? And I'm really good at breeding. I actually have my 10,000 hours. So I thought, right, breeding, right, what can I do? Money, I need money. Right, so I love dogs. Does anybody like those crossbreeds, Labradoodles and Shih Tzus and stuff? Yeah. Brilliant, right? So I thought, okay, what I'll do is, what dogs have I got? I've got 2 dogs. I've got a Cocker Spaniel and I've got a Maltese Terrier. So I'll breed them. And this was brilliant, little puppies and everything, and gorgeous. And then I thought, oh, shit, big problem. The puppies, what are they? Any ideas? Cocktease. Anybody want to buy a cocktease? You look like somebody who would enjoy a cocktease, sir. Yeah? Do you want to see my puppies? See me later. Yeah, I got a little man hat. So what we thought we would do is put those wee cards in the phone boxes, you know, and it's like, for sale, cocktease, only £1,500, leash trained. So anyway, it's wonderful to welcome you all here, and it's lucky for you that we actually have some professional comics on a wee bit later on. So it's been great to be here, and you've been here, and I've been misunderstood.
From Northern Ireland didn't need a microphone when it broke. That's you know, my second wife was from Northern Ireland. I've been married 5 times, by the way. Every one a success. So still, I'll be in contact with most of them if it wasn't for the restraining order. But Shane Money has to rear its ugly head. But apart from that, they're lovely women. Anyway, they just you. How long have you been together as a couple?
20 years.
Ooh, sorry, I pointed at you two. That must be very good. That's a hell of a way to find out, love. I'm so sorry. But you're quite happy. You know, move on. Life moves on. We'll be all right. We'll be fine. You know, they 20 years. That's a long time, isn't it? That's a life sentence, isn't it? Literally a life sentence. Well done, you. Anyway, I'm just jealous. I try to offer relationship advice, and I've got very few things to say. I'm sure the happy couples in the room know these things. But if I had to boil it down to one piece of advice, it would be never hit a woman in anger. That would be my advice to you. And it's all in my book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are Wrong. You can read it. It's available on Amazon. There's a follow-up. I haven't got a publisher for it yet. It's more of a work therapy book. Feel the fear and touch my cock. But anyway, I'm not here to advertise my work. That's not what it's about. I'm here to compare the evening, you know, and enjoy it. And I must say, I'm enjoying it. I'm having a rare old time tonight. It's taken me mind off the fact I've had a terrible week, ladies and gentlemen. It's true, I had a terrible week. I had to have the cat put down. It wasn't ill, but a bet's a bet. Fuck you. You don't know how many cats I've had to kill to keep that joke true. Anyway, it's cruel really, but it's showbiz. Nothing says showbiz more than an open door facing bricks. There we go. So, but there's a waft of the breeze coming through. You find yourself quite warm.
Yeah.
It's my fault. I felt a bit peaky. I hadn't turned the heating up. Anyway, we must crack on. Although it's been an inclement summer, hasn't it? Wouldn't you agree? Yeah. Not as shit as last year, but it's been pretty bad. You know, they say global warming, and I'm thinking, well, Doncaster's at sea level. Bring it on. Have you ever been? There's no reason on God's green earth why we would go to Doncaster. If you've ever been, has anybody, by groan of despair, has anybody had the misfortune to go to Doncaster? Yeah, there's not much there, is there? What's that? Doncaster Doves? Are you? Oh, the Dome! Sorry, you talk funny. The Dome. Are you from Hull?
No, everybody always says I'm from Leeds.
Oh, well, there we go. Well, you have the exotic patina of Hull. You got that. I bet she's from a coastal town. So let's do it. Let's B&Q it. That's the sponsorship deal out of the way. So let's bring on the next act, shall we? Yeah. gentlemen, this young lad, he came all the way from Scunthorpe for this gig. Hey? Literally living the dream. And please welcome, imagine the people in Grimsby getting cross with him. Please welcome the stage, ladies and gentlemen, one of the brightest, funniest young men entering the world of comedy. Always a cheeky smile around his lips. Please welcome his little Vince Davey, ladies and
Hello. Right. Very nearly July already. Seems like only yesterday that it was Christmas, 1963. But that's Alzheimer's for you. No doubt many of you got your summer holidays booked already. When I was younger, summer holidays used to be a fortnight at Southend-on-Sea. Whisking blue bottles away from me, 99, as my skin blistered and reddened as the hot rays of the sun beat down upon the Thames estuary. But these days, holidays have got to be exciting. They've got to be exotic. They can't be relaxing. These days, you've got to have holidays like, well, I don't know, cycling through the Andes. And what could be more stimulating than receiving cardiopulmonary resuscitation after having suffered a heart attack? Or perhaps you prefer one of these two-centre holidays, a week picking the nips from an orphaned orangutan in wherever orangutans come from, and then flying on to Thailand for a week, amassing quite an astonishing assortment of STDs. Or perhaps you're one of these people who likes to swim with dolphins. God, they fucking irritate me. Dolphins, that is, not necessarily the people who swim with them. It's that incessant sniggering noise they're always making, that what's that all about? Why are they so... Just stick a sock in your blowhole, Flipper. Shut it. Why do they do... Is it only humans that they do that sound with? Do they make that noise with every animal species that they encounter? Imagine, if you will, that we can engineer a meeting between a dolphin and, say, a Bengal tiger. An adult female with two adorably cute cubs back at the den. Cute but hungry. Just how much humour would there be in that encounter? Not a lot of sniggering, I'm sure you'll agree. So why is it they can do it with us? I'll tell you why. It's because they're vindictive little bastards. Thousands of years ago, man decided to crawl out of the ocean, and dolphins have resented that ever since. But now they've become aware of global warming. They've noticed that the oceans are starting to warm up, and the polar ice caps are starting to melt, and they're feeling pretty smug about it. Why? Because they know that man has fucked up. Our time on this planet is coming to an end. I'm sorry if that ruins anybody's Wednesday evening. But I'm not going to let it get me down, because if nothing else, I am a vindictive man. And so for my holiday this year, I'm going to be going to Japan. And when I'm there, I'm going to eat tuna. Thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Vince Levy, you're too kind.
Bottleneck there, very unprofessional. I should have been on stage a little bit quicker, but two things. I gave myself a Charlie horse, and secondly, there was a young lady by the toilets who seemed as if she was in a little bit of distress, so I tried to help, but apparently my help wasn't needed. So, always willing to offer a helpful hand to anyone. So, anyway, did you enjoy Little Vince?
Yeah.
Oh, I should be saying, hate me for saying this with the interval coming up after the next act. He's only 17. So, you're going to buy him a drink, buy him a soft drink, because otherwise, it gets a bit unnecessary. So, he's Scunthorpe, so, that's quite old. Let's move on. The party's over. I'd like to put a song in now and then. I was part of the original British Rat Pack. The Americans nicked the idea from us, but back in the 60s, I used to go to Champagne A Go-Go in King's Road in London. which is a town south of here. Not all that. And I was a part of the rap. I'm not bragging about it, but hence that's why I slept with Princess Margaret. But I'm not here to dwell on past glories. Although I did these hands stunt double for Edward G. Robinson in Cincinnati Kid. They say he had the shakes. An alcoholic, couldn't help himself. Won't mean anything to you, but this is my fucking life. Anyway, I tell you what though, I went to the doctor the other day. I said, doctor, I think I'm a pair of curtains. He said, no, Ron, you've had another stroke. Actually, it's done. It's affecting your sense of self. And then he gave me a copy of Oliver Sacks' Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat, and very good read. So let's they're not all winners. Let's crack on with the next act, ladies and as I said, the last act before the interval. Oh, look at the functioning alcoholics in the room. That, eh? So you can bring your drinks in if you want to. You can do what you want, really. We could form a naked pyramid of human flesh if we want. Who's to know? Eh? We could, I know I was joking with Paul, but we could literally kill somebody in this room and get the story straight. When the Rosses come round, we could, just a bit like a Dostoevsky novel, we just kill somebody and then the Rosses come round and go, no, when he left he seemed quite happy.
He's a butcher as well.
Is he?
So,
Oh, sorted then, isn't it? I know, you've got the look of a butcher around you. But is that, do you enjoy your work? Is that,
Yeah.
I bet you do. You can see it. Lovely the way he smiles doesn't quite reach his eyes. But at least they're dead when you kill them, I hope. Oh yeah, it depends. If it's sponsored kill, that's a different thing, isn't it? It's the only way to raise money for charity, isn't it? Fetch me another pig! Ah! Sorry, I got too far this time. Well, I'm vegetarian, but not for humane reasons. I'm vegetarian because A, I hate vegetables, B, I'm a very cruel man, and C, I'm lazy. So you give me tomato, I fucking peel the shit out of it. Anyway, let's when I go past frozen food section, that's more like chirogenics as far as I'm concerned. I made that bit up. I really regret it, ladies and gentlemen. So let's move on to. And good to have a butcher here, eh? In fact, you won't remember this, but I did the Bradford Pig Breeders Gazette. I was the front cover.
You were fine then.
You might remember our motto: we get the meat off the bone into the shop while it's still warm. That was me, smiling. Anyway, there was a crossover. I'm younger then, I was wearing hot pants. Winds and boats. It was all glam rock. We all did it in those days. Anyway, let's crack on, ladies and gentlemen, with the next act, who not only rocks, but is also glamorous. Where are the bloody links coming from tonight? I don't know. You can seriously cut my head off, and I don't do it though. So please welcome on stage the next act, the one and only Little Emma Santino.
Thank you very much. Can everybody hear me?
yeah.
Oh, hang on. Forgot to warm up there. It's very important. People ask me, Anna, you're the voice of your generation. How do you have such a honed, muscular, sinewy body? And by day, you see I'm a choreographer, as is evidenced there by my dance. Well, when I say choreographer, I really mean I shout out Strictly Come Dancing when it's on the telly and I point a lot. I was in the hairdressers the other day. I had a haircut recently. Well, actually, in my life, I have had my haircut several times, but the other day is the time I'm about to tell you about. And she puts both her hands in my hair and says, "Oh, you have such unusual hair. It has a life of its own, such an unruly, dense, curly kink. I'd never seen hair before this kind of hair in my life. And she called another lady in the salon over and she said, "Oh, can I have a touch?" And then I realised they had seen hair like mine before, only not in a person's head. I have downstairs hair upstairs, and that is why I want you to share it, young lady. Actually, what prompted me to get my hair cut was I was standing in Oxfam, and I looked around, and there was a sea of old ladies, and they all had the same hairstyle as me, which was like wet sheep meets toaster meets mental illness. And like, I really had, my hair really did get long. It really wasn't the hair of a kind of a young 20-year-old woman. It was more the hair of like a child of 12 that had been raised by monkeys. Which would explain my hairy back. I don't have a hairy back at all. I shave it, it's very smooth. And I said, like, you know, long hair on ladies of a particular age, it just screams cats, doesn't it? I have about 7 just. But like, it screams, I dress my cats up in people clothes, as opposed to like tortoise clothes or giraffe clothes. But I don't dress them up in clothes at all. I think that's terribly cruel. I just shave them and draw with them marker and stuff like that. and my cat, he'd just be looking at me and I wonder what he's thinking. And then I remember, he's a cat. He's not thinking at all. There's no cognitive processes at all going on there. Just kind of your basic mind control. That's my tuna sandwich. Stroke me. That is not my poo. So I had nothing against the ladies in charity shops, and I always imagined them having these little passive-aggressive rows like, "Myrtle, I don't think pimping for falcons should be in the same basket as the stripy satin ties. I think it should be over here on the ceramic ashtray made of frogs that are pink. That is where I think it should be, Myrtle." And I have nothing against ladies in charity shops, and I have absolutely nothing against mental illness. Indeed, if mental illnesses were Pokemon cards, you know, I would have them all, really, ladies and gentlemen, because I have been misdiagnosed so many times, it beggars belief. I was misdiagnosed for depression, and they gave me these antipsychotic drugs, which you could look forward to. The side effects were you lose your hair and your teeth, and basically the prospect of looking and behaving like a sofa. And people ask me, you know, "Anna, what's mental illness like?" And I say, well, mental illness is kind of like being in a film, except it's a really crap film, like a really crap Star Wars film, where there's no costumes, and you're not in space. And your character has been sick on itself in the first act in that big rubbish crusher. And then he goes into a coma and nobody cares and they all leave the room. It's kind of it's that mixture of horror and shame with a couple of songs thrown in. That's what mental illness is like. And I have had a lot of jobs in my life, which is a very polite way of saying I have been sacked a lot. And I used to have a job as a self-employed wildlife expert, which really meant that, of course, you guessed it, I would feed seagulls standing on a bridge when I wasn't thinking of throwing myself off the bridge. And I used to work as a disc jockey on national radio. No, I didn't. No, actually I did. I did do that, and I used to be on these drugs that made you drool and see double, so I fitted right in. And I had a job then as a Mrs. Santa Claus, and my job was to tell the children when Santy wasn't there, Santy has gone to feed the reindeer, or Santy is in deep negotiations with the elves over better dental care and pension. But Santy was doing neither of those things. Santy was standing in the back, pissing in a drain, weeping overly over his barely manageable alcoholism and his wasted youth. So, I imagine, ladies and gentlemen, you have these, like, smells associated with Christmas, like mistletoe and mulled wine and gingerbread For me, it's vomit, booze, faggot, and armpit. But when I was little, I didn't want to have any mental illness or indeed be Mrs. Santa Claus. No, I wanted a boyfriend. And I used to read books all the time in case I had a relationship, about relationships. And I remember reading Feng Shui for Lovers and The Rules. Has anybody ever heard of The Rules?
Yeah.
Now, the first rule is stop looking at men. So I stopped looking at men and went out with a woman. Now, we had certain things in common. You know, she was a woman, she liked women, I was a woman. But it didn't last. She was very fashion conscious and she couldn't deal with the fact that I had a bobble hat. And I couldn't deal with the fact that she was a psychotic bitch. So, when I met my current boyfriend, and when I say current, I don't actually mean any class of divine fruit whatsoever, he is an actual man. When I met him, I decided, you know, I better look online to see what sex is like, because I had been celibate for 12 years and you get a bit rusty. And I decided, I was looking at all this and I said, you know, well, there seems to be some sort of fashion fad, and all these ladies have nudie bare front bottoms. I think I'll go and get a nudie bare front bottom too. So I marched into a salon and I said, excuse me please, I'd like a nudie bare front bottom, which indeed, if you're from Catholic Ireland, that is the technical term. And they said, of course, come this way. So I tottered on in there and they introduced me to Anushka. Anushka was a huge cathedral of a woman. If you were lost in the Arctic wastes and you were with Anushka, you'd be very, very glad of it because you could snuggle in beside her and you'd know that you would survive the night. Anushka, when I hear the words Mother Earth, I think of Anushka. If Mother Earth was a sadist. I said, is this going to hurt? She says, oh yes, this is going to hurt very, very much. I said, oh, I'm not really on with pain. I don't like it. And she said, oh, I have a plan. I said, what is this spell she's about to weave? This plan she has? Watch my hand. So there I am, watching her hand. And with her other hand, she pours wax on my nethers, and I'm watching the hand. And she, in one fell swoop, rips the wax and all my pubic hair off. And I roar. And then the hand that I am watching comes with all her might, slapping down on my fanny. Mother of all Satan! What did you do that for? You're not watching the pain, or feeling the pain, or thinking of the pain now. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're very proud of you. Enjoy your
Tragedy is your comedy. Anna Santini, ladies and gentlemen. What a full and varied life she's lived, don't you think?
Yeah.
I agree. So, you might have seen I inadvertently rubbed myself against her, but it's only just a narrow, wasn't anything else. So, should we crack on with that interval?
Yeah.
So I was expecting with the heat and, you know, the lifestyle choices that some of you have made, you'd be more up for a beer, but there we go. So let's have a drink. Get two. I don't care. Honestly, don't care. Do what you want. If you're a bit poor, hyperventilate. Do whatever you can to get a happy place. And well, let's have as long as it takes, usually served, and we'll crack on with the second half, which is brilliant because just had a quick phone call and we got 34 more acts on the day. So, you know, it's going to be brilliant. So, in the meantime, let's hear it for the four people who entertained you!